Bella Poarch is here. You may know her from her hit songs like Build a Bitch and Dolls. You have 100% seen her on TikTok because she has the most liked video of all time in the history of TikTok with over 106 million followers across platforms. She may be one of the most viewed people ever, and she's literally only 26 years old. But, of course, like we'd like to do here on Call Her Daddy, we're going to talk about, there's so much more about this person that we don't actually know, that we haven't seen on social media, and that she hasn't addressed until today. Bella is here to tell her exclusive story that she has never spoken about publicly before. Bella was married for 4 years, and the world had no idea until her divorce was leaked to the media. And since then, she's been flooded with hate and criticism and rumors. Today, Bella is telling her full story for the first time. But before we get started, Daddy Gang, please be aware that this episode does have conversations around abuse, assault, and self-harm that may be difficult for some of you to listen to. So I love you, and please take care of yourself first and foremost. I also ask you, when people come onto this show and open up about their life experiences, traumatic or not, I ask that you guys just keep in mind that this is, specifically today, a very sensitive topic for someone to open up about, and just online and in the comments, just think before you write things, because this is taking a lot for someone to come and sit down and talk about this. And let's try to be positive and uplifting and supportive of this young woman, because her story is fucking incredible. So without further ado, let's get into it. Bella Poarch.
She had any idea where she came from?
God for being a completely unknown person, being one of the most talked about people in the world. The most famous girl on TikTok has been keeping a massive secret.
From her native country, the Philippines, which was abused throughout her childhood.
It was then that she started plotting her escape. Joined the Navy when she was just 17 years old.
Hi everyone. Her song actually slaps.
Spicy video starring her and rapper Tyler.
She has a husband?
She had to disappear because people are ruthless.
What is up, Daddy Gang? It is your founding father, Alex Cooper, with Call Her Daddy. Bella, welcome to Call Her Daddy.
Thanks for having me.
I want to talk to you about your life, because you have a very, very interesting and inspiring story. And so whether your fans are listening today, maybe they don't know all these details. If new people are watching you today, they're going to learn a lot about you. So you grew up in the Philippines. You were raised by your grandmother in, I think you've said, like, the slums.
Yes.
And you were raised by her until you were about 3, and then you were adopted.
Yeah.
Who were your adoptive parents? Like, where were they from?
So my adoptive dad was from here, America. He was a retired Army soldier, and he went to the Philippines and got married there with his wife, who is my adoptive mom.
Your parents eventually also adopted 3 other children. Can you kind of bring me to those first few years of getting adopted? Like, what was it like in the house with this family?
It was crazy because at first, when we were first adopted and everything was perfect. Like, I was spoiled. I had a lot of toys. I was allowed to go to the playground with my brother. And then up until I was age 7, everything just like shifted. We decided to move to a different part of the Philippines, and it was like in a very secluded area, and it was like a farm. And beginning of that, it became very toxic and abusive, and I don't know why, but it just happened.
Can you kind of talk about like what life was like on this farm?
Yeah, so we had a lot of animals, farm animals. I know we have 20 plus goats. We had cows, sheep, chickens, a lot. And so we'd have to take care of them. And every morning before I go to school at 3 a.m., I would wake up with my brother and start sweeping goat shit, cow shit, all the shit, literally, like clean up. And yeah, I would always get bullied in school because I always smelled like shit. Because I wasn't allowed to shower before I go to school because I didn't have much time.
So when you're doing these chores, like, what is your stepdad saying to you? Like, is it very aggressive? Like, you must do these things? Like, were there repercussions if you didn't finish them or do a good job?
I basically wouldn't be able to eat breakfast if I didn't do a good enough job. Yeah.
Was the treatment similar for all of you and your siblings?
No, it was, I don't know why, but it was always been me and my brother doing most of the work, while my 2 older sisters were just doing like sweeping the floors, washing the dishes.
Interesting. Were they also from the Philippines?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that was, that they were treated differently?
I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe because they're older and me and my brother were the younger ones.
Did your stepdad in moments like ever get physical with you?
Yes, all the time. And for sometimes it would be no reason at all. Like it would be at midnight. Like he would come to my room and just pick me up, throw me in the ground, and like put me in the closet. Like it's so scary. Yeah.
When you say that to like out loud right now, is it like
it's yeah.
Did your stepmom know about this abuse?
Oh yeah. She didn't say anything. Like she knew it was happening, but she just let it happen. She wouldn't say anything about it. My other, like, I have cousins that knew too, because they would come over and they would sleep in my bedroom and I would sleep on the floor. And they would hear, like, the yelling and, like, me getting beat up. And, yeah, everybody's just very silent. I guess they were also afraid because, you know, it's this tall white man who they thought had a lot of money, and you know, I guess, I don't know, they thought he was powerful in a way, so they were all scared.
At that point in your life, like, what did you feel towards your stepdad?
Oh, a lot of hate. I was also very young, so I didn't understand what was going on. Like, why was I being treated that way? And there was so many times me and my brother was planning on like running away together, but like we wouldn't have anywhere to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so sorry even hearing you, like, it feels like you're just like trapped. Like you're like getting abused in a home that was supposed to be like, why did you even adopt us if this is how you were going to treat a human being? Like, let me go to another family that like wants to love and care for a child. And then you're in this dynamic where these people are abusing you. You have no way out. Did you confide in anyone that this was going on outside of your home?
No, I was embarrassed. Because in the Philippines, like if you have like a white dad, you're considered like rich. And everybody just like bullied me. So I went to a private school, which is like a little bougie.
Yeah.
And people would always look at me weird because I always had like holes in my shoes. Like they're like, oh, why don't you just tell your dad to buy you new ones? Like, and I would always be embarrassed to say like, oh, they don't care about me.
When you think about your younger self, like, what kept you going? Like, did you have something in mind that you were like, I need to keep going because of this?
I honestly think because of what was happening to me when I was like a kid, like I was going through all that like traumatizing shit, that it made me want to like have a better life. Yeah, so it kind of, I believed that I was going to be in a better place in the future because me and my brother would always talk about it. He's like, oh, we're gonna move to the US. We're gonna go to like a really nice school. And yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I guess dreaming and manifestation.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't know I was manifesting when I was a kid, I actually was.
You were.
Yeah.
You eventually moved to the United States with your family, right? Were you still under the control of your step-parents, or like did you have any more freedom when you got to America?
What I noticed was when we moved here, he was less kind of like abusive in terms of like physical. The first time something happened, like I don't remember, like I forgot to do something and he started yelling and the neighbors came over and they were asking if like everything's okay. And I guess when that happened, he just like, he was more careful.
Interesting.
Yeah. And, but still he was still very mentally abusive.
And verbally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Like, he had the ability, obviously, on the farm to, like, go lash out in whatever way he pleased. Obviously, then when you move to America and you have, like, neighbors next door, it was almost like, thank God you kind of got into a different area because it allowed you, not that it got better, but at least the physical aspect maybe, like, died down more because it was like, yeah, someone's going to be like, what the fuck is that noise in that house? Like, let's call the police.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, you said your father was in the Army? So you end up going to the Navy.
Yes.
You were in the Navy for 4 years. Why did you want to go to the Navy?
So I graduated when I was 16. Like I graduated high school when I was 16 and I wanted to get the fuck out of the house.
Yeah.
I was working in Target. I couldn't work overtime because I was only 16. Like I was underage.
Okay.
So I was making like minimum and I really wanted to move out of the house and the only way was to join the military.
I'm curious to know too, because like your stepfather being so abusive and being like tied into like the military and the Army, like was there any like hesitation at all? Because it's like if this person was in that environment, like am I going to experience that again? Or was that not even a thought? You're just like, let's just go and get out any way that I can.
I guess the other reason too that I joined was my brother also joined. Yeah, he went before me, like a couple months before me. He did it because, yeah, he also wanted to get out of the house. He wasn't making a lot of money, so he decided, oh, maybe joining the military would be best for him because there's benefits and he can go to college for free. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so when he joined and I was like, oh, wait, yeah, maybe I can join too. Like, because I wanted to go to college and experience that, but I also didn't have money and my parents were
not going to pay.
Yeah, no.
Were your parents at all opposed to you going to the Navy? They were.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
So I was 17. You have to have a waiver signed for you to join. Mm-hmm. So I had to basically force my mom to sign it.
Why did they not want you to go?
I think they just wanted to keep me there. Just
control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's so crazy having to deal with the feelings of like, you clearly don't love and respect me by the way you treat me. I'm trying to leave, let me leave, and they wouldn't let you leave. So you get the waiver and you leave and you go and you enlist. Talk to me about your time in the Navy.
Yeah. Also, I actually want to talk about the time I shipped out for boot camp.
Yeah.
So usually your parents would like drop you off in the airport, you know?
Yep.
But my parents didn't want to do that.
So what happened?
So they asked the recruiter if he could, my Navy recruiter, to drop me off instead because they didn't want to do that for me. It was at 7 a.m. in the morning and I kind of didn't want to say goodbye to them, so I just like kind of left and I assumed that they were still asleep.
Yeah.
But as soon as I stepped out of the door, my dad came in front of the door and he was like, "Oh, you're leaving?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm going." And I said, "Yeah, bye. That's my recruiter over there." And he was like, "Well, if you fail boot camp, this is not your return address. Like, this is not your home. You're not coming back here. Like, if you fail, you're gonna be homeless, and I don't ever want to see your face again." And I turned around actually, and I was smiling really hard because that was the happiest, like the best feeling ever. Because I knew I was gonna just start a new life, and I'm like, goodbye. I'm done with them. Yeah, I never have to deal with them again.
An amazing opportunity for you to finally start a new start, but like also like, were you scared?
Honestly, I wasn't scared. I was really excited. When I found out that boot camp was like, you go in there and it's basically like a sleepover with strangers every night.
Right.
Yeah, because I didn't know like we were all gonna share like one room, like 30 girls in one room. I was like so excited.
Right.
My first night there, a lot of the girls were crying because they miss They miss home. And I was there like, oh my gosh, guys, this is so exciting.
You're like, I couldn't be happier. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. And like you had a bed, and you also even talked about, like you were saying, like I wasn't allowed to have friends. Like that's so interesting. Like most people come in terrified. You were leaving a terrifying situation.
Yeah.
This was like paradise to you, essentially. So talk to me about these years in the Navy. Like I think a lot of people listening and watching are probably like, I can't imagine. Like I've never experienced this. We hear about it, but like what was your experience like?
The training was not bad. Everybody thinks like boot camp is hard. I think it's pretty like not that bad. I got to do a lot of things like go to the mall for the first time in the U.S. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Yeah, I get to spend my money.
I think I actually got to like, when I worked, I actually got rewarded instead of
and like
abused.
on the weekends, yeah, like on the weekends I would have fun with friends. Yeah, it was so crazy. I was hanging out with friends.
And so you made like a good group of friends there. How were you feeling like personally now at some point? I'm saying like the first year being away from your family. Like, did you feel like you were coming into a different version of yourself? Like, how did you feel about yourself?
It felt new to me because I was like, wow, I can socialize with people. Like, it's so weird. And even my brother was like, you're unrecognizable. Like, when we first hung out, we were both in the military. It was so weird. We were both in uniform. And we saw each other, and it was like, wow, you're like a completely different person. Like, your face light up now. Like, you seem happier. And I'm like, yeah.
Right, like I'm free.
Yeah, and then I've never opened up about this, but like something really fucked up happened to me in the military as well. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. So my first year in the military, I got sexually assaulted. It was, I was 18. And it was my first duty station. And I don't know, I was very motivated. Like, I was a motivated sailor. Like, I wanted to pick up rank really fast. So I was doing a lot of, like, extra things. Like, studying really hard so I can get my, my wings. It's like, you study, like, aviation, and, it's supposed to look good in uniform and, like, on paper. But, I was studying really hard, and I wanted to pick up rank so I can make more money. And then, yeah, that happened. And at first I didn't want to speak up about it. But the women that I was surrounded with, they kind of like they knew something was wrong. Yeah.
First of all, I'm so sorry. Like, there's no words to even, like, especially I feel like woman to woman, it's like, I'm so sorry. Was this a person in a position of power, or was this someone that you were like interacting with every day that was also like kind of in a similar situation to you?
It was someone that I knew. Yes.
Once this happened to you and these women came to you because they knew you so well, did you tell them, and like were you able to talk about it?
Well, at first I showed up to work and they were like, why do you have so many cuts on your face? Like, why do you have bruises on your neck? Like, what's going on? And I was late for work that day too. And I just started crying. I didn't know if I wanted to say what really happened because I didn't want anything to change. Like, I was working really hard and I just didn't want anything to change. And we all knew this person. And I didn't want it to be like an awkward situation.
So, not to get like too into detail, but it's obviously alarming, like that you had like physical cuts. Like, this was like, you were like fully, of course, attacked, but to the point where you like were fighting for your life.
No, I was fighting really hard. Yeah, I mean, I was just like very grateful that I was surrounded with people that cared about me. And yeah, they were like forcing me, like actually forcing me to go get the rape kit. Because like, you know, at a certain amount of time, like you have to go get it done. And I was just like, I don't want to, but they were like, no, you have to, like, you have to speak up, because, you know, like, this person can't keep doing that. What if he does that to another girl, you know? And yeah, I went to go get it. And it was a long process, a lot of interrogation, it was like I was a suspect, and they were interviewing me, and they were like, oh, did this really happen? When obviously they see like the physical.
Right.
Yeah, like
The physical wounds on your body from being attacked by this man.
Yeah. And so like we went on court, and he got 4 years. That's it.
First of all, thank you for just like even talking about what you're comfortable with, because I can't imagine, like, I know every time you're probably talking about this, it like brings back up the trauma. It's really incredible also to hear you talk about, Bella, like how brave you were to, and incredible that you had all those incredible women around you to be like, Bella, do this. It's clearly so much harder said than done of like you talked about. I feel like so many women don't report it because it's like, they're not going to believe me.
Yeah.
And even if they do, I have to, first of all, when people say like, why didn't you just go get the rape kit? You have to open your body back up to be re-violated by random humans to basically confirm that you, yes, was also violated by someone else. Like, it's so backwards that people ask even why women don't come forward. And the fact that you came forward, I can imagine so many women are watching right now being like, holy fuck, like, you're so fucking strong, but you shouldn't have to be this strong. What empowered you to come forward? Like, I know you're saying these women were, you know, asking you, but at the end of the day, like, this is you being that strong. Like, how did you will yourself to get yourself to the hospital?
Honestly, I just thought of what they said. Like, what if this is not the first time he did it? And it actually wasn't. Yeah, it actually wasn't. He did it multiple times. And I guess, like, when I came forward, those other women came forward.
And he only got 4 fucking years.
Yep.
Can I ask, like, how does it make you that, like, you feel of, like, having someone in the world that, like, it's just 4 years is a short time? Like, are you like, how do you mentally even handle that?
I honestly live, like, with so much anxiety because I know he's out there. Yeah. Yeah, I've just been scared. And I feel like it's so fucked up. I feel like there should be like a system where when this happens that we know where this person is at all times, because 4 years is like not a long time, and I don't know, he could do anything literally, and I've just been scared this past few years.
Have you talked to anyone about this? Like, have you gotten into therapy, or do you discuss this at all? Like, or are you like still kind of like physically and emotionally like holding on to this? Like, are you still not ready to fully talk about this in a way that you can begin healing?
It took me 2 years to seek help. Yeah, at first I was like, no, I'm fine. And then I guess I found out that I had PTSD. I would get triggered at work, literally, and my coworkers would be kind of like freaked out, like, why are you shaking right now? And it was scary. It's scary. Sometimes you forget where you are, especially when you get like flashbacks. And whenever I see a person that looks like him, my body just shuts off. It actually happened multiple times. And I feel like that's also why, like, I try to stay away from crowded places.
When you went back to the military, like you're saying, like having PTSD, I wasn't even like thinking about that. Like you're all in uniform, you're all looking at each other, everyone's kind of looking the same. Like, did you ever consider leaving?
Yes, actually they gave me a choice. It's either I get out of the military and go back home, or I can be transferred to a different duty station where I can just start fresh, and the people in that duty station will not know about what happened to me. And I was like, I don't have a home. Like I wanted to leave, but also like I really don't have a home, so where am I gonna go to, right? And at that time my brother was stationed in Japan, and I told them, can I get orders to Japan because my brother's there and he's literally the only person I have? And they're like, yeah, we'll send you to Japan, you can start fresh. And that's how I was stationed in Japan. I got to see my brother all the time, which is awesome.
Well, thank God. I was going to say, like,
Yeah.
again, whether it's blood or not, like, we need someone in life. It could be literally one person. Like, we need someone. We all need at least one human being to be there for us. And the fact that, thank fucking God, you were able to have your brother. And I feel like also life is just so fucking weird where you're like, thank God he was also adopted into the same family so that you had that person. That's the one thing you can like hold on to. And that person, was he super supportive during that time? I'm sure obviously you had to tell him. Like, how hard was that telling your brother?
Actually, I didn't have to tell him myself. He got a phone call saying that I was in a hospital, and yeah.
Fuck.
It was
Intense.
So I didn't have to tell him about that. But he was very worried. And he was one of those people that pushed me to go see a therapist. And I was like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah. Clearly, like, the body's natural intuition is like survive and just get through this. And then once you have survived that moment and gotten through some of it, like, your body doesn't forget the trauma that you went through. And experiencing PTSD symptoms is so debilitating and severe to the point where like your work is being affected, your life, your mental health, your physical. How did you begin to heal? Like, sitting here today, obviously this is with you forever and like you are a survivor, but like when do you actually think, like, did your PTSD symptoms get any better as you were in the military? Did it stop when you got out of the military?
I'm still struggling with it now, but it's definitely a lot better now than it used to. I also met a guy in the military, and that guy is my ex-husband. We were together for 7 years. Yeah, when I met him, we were both 19, and we were both very introverted. And as soon as we saw each other, we were like, we kind of fell in love. Like, it was like love at first sight. It was funny. And he didn't say a word. I didn't say a word because I'm introverted. And it was just like, yeah. And then we started seeing each other at the gym. And then that's when we started talking. Yeah, he definitely helped me through a lot of the dark times.
That's something that's so crazy, is like piecing together like your public persona now on TikTok, and we're going to get into it because it's like all of your fans were in shock when they found out that you had been married and you were divorced. And they were like, Bella, we didn't know you were married. We didn't know you were divorced. No one knew about this marriage or divorce. And it's inspiring to hear that like you met this person in one of the darkest times of your life. He was there for you. Obviously you filed for divorce, and we can get to the divorce at some point, but like, can you bring me back to that moment of meeting him? Like, what do you remember about like your first date or like your first interaction of like actually after you got past the uncomfortable, like, oh my God, we're both introverts, like I'm looking at you and I like you and you like me, but like when did it kind of pick up, and like what was the relationship like?
This is really funny.
Okay.
Because I've only had one ex-boyfriend before him.
Okay.
And it was like not serious. And I was his first girlfriend. And I remember seeing him look up how to take a girl on a date.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's so
yeah,
cute,
it was
Bella.
yeah, it was like a Google search. I was like kind of like a crazy girlfriend too.
Like, I may have been
Like,
looking for his phone. Shut up.
I was looking at the history.
I feel like that's not the point of the conversation. I
Yeah.
was creeping, whatever.
Yeah,
Anyways.
yeah, but it was just really cute, and yeah, it was very wholesome and cute.
Yeah.
And we were both kind of like, oh, we did a lot of our firsts together. Yeah.
It's hard to regain any type of intimacy after something like that. Like, how did you even begin to have a relationship with a man? At what pace? Was he, like, respectful?
He was definitely very respectful, and the relationship, it started very slow. And I had to say hi first, because he was really not going to say hi. We would see each other all the time, like, so we were on the same squadron, but, like, different work. Like, I worked in weapons while he dealt with, like, parachute stuff,
Got
aircrew
it.
stuff. And so, like, we would always see each other every day at work, but he never says hi. So I had to say the first hi.
Right, you're like, I'm over here. Just
Yeah.
you and I fucking each other. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, and and then I found out, like, he actually never talked to girls before, and I thought that was really cute that, and he was really nice.
Yeah. So we're sitting here, obviously, and you just casual, like, oh yeah, my ex-husband. I'm like, Bella, the internet is like, give us the tea, girl. When and how did he propose to you?
Oh my gosh. He actually proposed to me 2 years before we got married.
Wow. Okay, so 2 years before you got married. How long had you guys been dating?
He proposed to me months after we started dating.
He's like, you're the only girl that I've ever talked to. Actually, you're the only girl that I've ever even been able to say hi to. We're doing this thing. Stop.
We were, so we would go on deployment, like on the ocean for 6 months out of the year. And so we would go to places like Korea for like 3 days. And then we went to Guam. And that's when he proposed. It was beautiful. I know he looked it up though. he had to look up like tips on how to propose. But yeah, he proposed at the beach. Yeah, and at that time, he didn't have enough money for a ring, so he got me like this necklace. Yeah.
What was the necklace?
It was like a simple diamond necklace,
Yeah.
and he spent like $1,500 on it, and I was like, how do you not have enough money for a ring? Like, that's $1,500. Like, you could literally buy a lot. Like, there's a lot of options.
He's like,
you
more
know?
bang for. He's like, I had to Google it. Okay, I'm just constantly. Stop. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 months in, did you want to get engaged?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, I actually, like, I thought we were actually going to be together forever.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he has, like, a tattoo, like, forever, always together. And it's like, I know, it's like, but, like, like, everything just happened so fast. Like, TikTok happened, and, like, he didn't want to be in a spotlight. And, like, I respect that, though. Like,
Yeah.
It's hard when I want to pursue music. Like, I want to be an artist. I want to share music, and I want to make content. But when the person you love wants something different, it's like, it's hard. But we're divorced, but we're in good terms. It was a mutual decision. And I know, like, a lot of the people, I don't know, there was, like, a time where people thought I cheated on him, and that's why we got a divorce, but that's not actually the truth. Nothing like that happened.
There's so many questions I have. First of all, did you guys ever have a real wedding? Like, did you?
Yes, we got eloped. The main reason is because we didn't want to deal with saying our vows in front of our families.
Stop. It's so full circle. You're both like, we are introverts. We will not be speaking in front of everyone. Stop.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get married. So it was just the two of you by yourselves?
Yeah, we got married in Hawaii. Yeah.
you get married, you get eloped, you go get eloped. You're like, no one can hear our vows. Shut up. We're gonna just say them in our mind together.
And I want to talk about how funny the wedding day was. We were both really broke. And I spent everything on the wedding because that's me. I planned the wedding. I had $100 in my bank account, and in the military, like you always spend because you know you're gonna get a check every month. So when we got eloped, I had $100 in my bank account, and I remember that night, that wedding, the wedding night. I had to deposit $100 on the hotel. So we had $0 that night, and we didn't get to eat dinner, but we were married, and we were so happy. We were just so broke. We were young, dumb, and broke, literally.
But happy.
But really happy.
So you get on TikTok, and can you talk to me about that? Because I'm like, it's like so crazy to hear your life and then be like, when did TikTok come into your life, and like what did you start posting? Because all of a sudden you are literally one of the most viewed people on TikTok. Like, what happened? Tell me.
Beginning of 2020, I got out of the military, and also the pandemic happened. And my friends always was telling me, oh, check out this video on TikTok, it's so cute, like videos of animals and just like funny stuff. And I was like, oh, maybe I should just download the app, because whenever I clicked the link, it would send me to Safari, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just download the app and see what the hype is. And I got addicted.
As we all did.
Yeah, it was really fun. I just for hours scroll, and I was like, wait, this is kind of fun. Maybe I should start posting stuff. But they're watching funny, stupid lip sync videos.
Yeah. Yes.
And so I started doing that. And then one video got 1 million views, and then I was like, okay, I can get viral. Okay, I'm gonna keep uploading videos. And then I did M to the B.
and it has 100 and something million views.
It's M to the B, 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 bam.
It's such a simple video, and to get that many views, what do you think it was?
I don't know. The comment sections were also very confused. They're like, why does this have 1 million likes? And then it got 5 million likes, and people are like, why the hell does this have 5 million likes? And it just kept adding, and people in the comment sections were fighting and bullying me. They're like, talentless people are getting famous from TikTok. What is going on? Why do people like this video so much? And so they just kept bullying me. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll upload a cover of, I think the first one I did was Friend by Gracie Abrams. I love her. And then people are like, oh, wait, no, she could sing.
Right, you're like...
But it's just fucked up that they had to bully me.
Where were you mentally at when your whole life was changing?
I was excited. Also, I was kind of in the lowest point in my life, actually. When I got out of the military, I was very down.
Why?
I tried taking my own life a few months before I got out of the military, because my PTSD was getting bad, and my ex-husband wasn't there. He was stationed in Japan, and I was stationed in Hawaii. So he was far, and the only thing he could do was call me. So it was kind of hard. Not having your person, the person that you trust and that helped you through that isn't there. So it was hard. Yeah.
Did you tell anyone that this happened?
This is the first time I'm actually speaking up about this. I just feel really comfortable with you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. After that happened, were you just by yourself? Did you go to anyone? Did you tell anyone?
My friends actually found me. I overdosed. I don't know, I just saw a bottle of Percocet on I had a roommate, she had like a bottle of Percocet in her bathroom, and I just took the whole thing. It was probably like 40 pills, and yeah, and I was just really depressed. I was talking to a therapist actually twice a week, and I was still struggling very hard.
I feel like it's like, I appreciate you sharing that, not because it's like another thing in your life that you're sharing. It's more like the effects of abuse run so fucking deep and last so fucking long that hearing you talk about it, it's unfortunate, but it does help bring like more light to the fact that like, I feel like I've sat with people that have been abused or gone through similar things and are like, it's hard to not get over it, like, and people keep being like, why aren't you better? Like, you've gone through therapy, like, you should be fine. You're talking to a therapist 2 times a week. It's just like, healing isn't linear. Like, you can't wake up one day and feel better. Like, you could be fine for a year and then one day you wake up and you see someone that reminds you of, and then it's all back. After that moment though, did you have any, like, a clarity moment? Did you still feel super low?
Well, something changed. I was basically forced to go to the psych ward, and I met a lot of people there that were struggling with the same thing, and I guess I just needed people that understood me, and I just needed to talk to people that went through the same thing, and that made me feel a little, like, better and hopeful.
It's awful what you've been through. Like, there's no, like, but, like, it's like, I'm so fucking sorry. Like, I feel like sometimes people are like, but it's like, no, like, that's so fucking rough. What you've made of yourself now that we see on TikTok, though, I think it gives more perspective to, like, we really don't fucking know. We have no fucking idea what people are going through. And I am so happy for you with your success, but success doesn't just rid all of the pain and the problems and everything you've been through. Like, hearing you talk about your husband and now ex-husband, like, is the only reason you guys couldn't make it work because of your success and you wanting to move to LA and him kind of staying? Like, was that it? Like, you still loved each other, but that was it?
Yeah, he's a really private person. He had, like, Instagram, but he had, like, one picture. And he has really bad social anxiety, just like me. And one time, I had 20,000 followers on Instagram, and I had about like 1 million on TikTok. This was like 2020, the beginning of, And I was getting hit on by so many like
random
people, And so I was like, wait, let me upload pictures of me in my wedding dress and when we got eloped, and just say, like, caption it like, stop messaging me, stop sliding into my DMs, I'm married.
Right.
And I did. I posted it. Yeah, there was a lot of hateful comments. It got a lot of hate. It's mostly just men talking shit, saying, wow, you married this dude, like, making fun of his appearance. It's awful. And he saw that. At that moment, I saw him, I've just never seen him hurt before.
Yeah.
He's the type of dude that doesn't cry. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't show his emotions, but at that moment he was
hurt.
Yeah, he was very hurt. And it was like a decision that it's best to keep it private. Is to protect him and also to protect me. But, like, I know how it feels when, people bully you, because I basically was bullied my entire life.
Yeah.
And still now on the internet.
You experience
But, like, you get used to it.
Yeah.
But for someone that never really been through it.
Yeah. He's like, I don't want to have to handle this.
Yeah.
Which it's so hard, because it's like, I also get that side of it. It's like, it is a crazy world that we're in, of, like, leaving the comment section on and letting people just, like, have at it. And it's like, I understand someone that's like, I want my privacy and I don't want to have to be basically like a joke on the internet or people making fun of me. Like, I want to be happy in my life. when you decided to get the divorce, can you take me to that moment? Like, what were the conversations like, and how did you decide to officially end it?
Well, he first started talking to me about it.
Okay.
He kind of brought it up.
How did that feel?
It was hard to talk about it, but also like I respect that he was able to like start the conversation of like yeah, he was just basically like I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can keep living like this, like yeah. But like we're in good terms right now. Like I'm crying because I'm like, you know, he always has like a special part in my heart. Like he helped me through so much. And yeah, we still keep in touch. He's doing his own thing and I'm doing my own thing. Yeah.
It just sucks too, because it's like, I really respect both of you though, because I feel like there is sometimes, I feel like this is like from a fucking movie, and I don't know where I'm quoting this from, but like sometimes like love literally isn't enough. Like, you can love someone so much, but circumstances where you're at in your life versus where someone else is, like, it doesn't mean you don't love someone, but sometimes you actually just like have to let something go, and sometimes letting something go is actually much stronger than trying to hold on to something that clearly isn't right for maybe both or even just one of you. And like the fact that you were like, it hurt like hell, but like, I know it was time. Do you think that you would ever, like, is there anything in your head that you're like, one day we will make it back together, or do you think that door is like closed?
I guess it depends. I think so, but like, I want to be an artist. I want to sing. I want to be, like, I want to be in the spotlight. Like, I want to perform. And I don't think he ever wants to be part of that. Like,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, so, I mean, we're still pretty close. Like, he's still my best friend, but sometimes it just sucks because, you know, like, you want to do something for yourself and like a career, but then you love someone and they can't handle it. So it's just like, you kind of just have to pick, right?
Dude, it's so hard. I feel like that's like, do you compromise going after the career that you want? And maybe you're going to be lonely, and maybe you're going to have to sacrifice, and maybe you are going to have to give up someone that at the time was the love of your life, but like, you also have wants and dreams.
Yeah.
And it's a really difficult balance of knowing when to like fight for something and when to know like it's time to move on. I'm sure so many people listening are like, they have that job they wanted to take, but they stayed with the partner because they didn't want to move with them, or they left. It's just like, it's life. It's just fucking awful, because it's like, timing is such a motherfucker. You're single.
I am.
How is your single life going, Bella?
It's so hard because I don't understand. Okay, so I feel like I've never really talked about this, but like, why is talking to people so hard? First of all, I don't know when someone likes me. They could literally be like, Bella, I like you. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, you want to date me, or you just like talking to me? Like, I don't understand how dating works. And then every time I talk to my friends about it, I'm like, how does like dating life work? And they're like, oh, there's like different tiers or something. Like, you're talking, just hanging out, and then there's dating. I'm like, what are all those terms? Like, I've only had two exes in my entire life, because I was never allowed to have a boyfriend when I was a kid.
Right.
And it's just hard. I don't understand.
It's so fucking confusing. The good thing I think that I have learned is like, I don't think anyone knows what they're doing. I think so much of it is awkward, and it's like, until you find that one person that you're like, ooh, like I kind of like you, but now I get it. In today's world, it's like, ooh, I like you, but then like I have to act like I don't like you, and then like I'm not allowed to text you. Double texting is like a taboo. Like, I'm gonna look needy. You're like, it's a fucking headache. So I empathize with you, and I'm sorry that it's so confusing. Have you gone on any dates? Like, what's the vibe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually went on a date a few days ago.
How'd it go?
It was weird because he likes me, but we split the bill. What?
It was weird.
Wait, no, okay. It was like the first time I had to split a bill with someone, but it wasn't like when the waiter came, he gave us the thing, and he was like, "Do you want to split it?" It wasn't like, "Oh, do you want me to pay for it, or do you want to split it?" He was like, "Do you want to split it?" And I was like, "Oh, okay,
sure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say no." Like,
right? Did you text him after? Did he text you after?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
Yeah. I mean, it was cute. He was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry I didn't bring flowers."
You're like, you're sorry, you mean you didn't pay?
Yeah, I also didn't want to make a big deal out of that because I don't know, I've only been to a couple of dates and like, actually two dates, yeah.
Are you good at flirting? Like, how are you feeling about like,
I don't think I'm good at flirting at all, but like people say I'm flirting with them, but I'm so confused. Okay, the last time a guy told me like, he's like, "Are you flirting with me?" I'm like, "I'm literally just looking at you. I'm not even saying anything."
Oh,
I feel like I'm just very awkward, and if I think like I only click with people that's also awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, we can vibe in our awkwardness together.
Yeah.
If not, like, get away.
Can you give me some tips though?
Yeah. No, I think that what you have to do is like, I don't think you should do anything but be yourself. Like, I feel like the times that I fucked myself over, especially when I was like in college, was like trying to be someone I wasn't, and then by the 5th date, I was like, I'm fucking exhausted. Like, I've been faking this whole time, like, oh, I'm this cool girl that's like down for this. I'm like, I just want to like, get some sushi and go home. Like, I'm not up for like the club. Like, just making sure that like you just go based off of what you actually are. I feel like sometimes we go onto dates and we're like, we have to look a certain way, or wear your fucking hoodie if you want to wear your hoodie. Dress up if you want to dress up. Like, and actually just like, don't listen to people with like the rules of dating. Like, I kind of feel like it's chiller and cooler if you just actually confuse the fuck out of people, because like you do double text if you want to double text. Like, do whatever the fuck you want. And I wish I had told myself this when I was younger, because I would just sit up thinking about like literally planning. I was like planning like how I'm going to respond and waiting and like writing things down when I'm like, what am I doing? This is supposed to be fun. And it should like, I guess I'll go on a second date. Only go on a second date if you really fucking like him. And if he pays.
If he pays.
You have the song Build a Bitch. But I'm like, Bella, if we are building a boyfriend, tell me what you're looking for in a boyfriend.
Okay. Well, I'm looking for someone who's funny. I feel like that's important. But also, I don't know, I've always been attracted to guys that are like 5'9" and below.
Okay.
Is that weird?
No, I love the short kings are cheering at this episode right now.
I guess like my cutoff would be 5'10", but like I don't know, like I always find like shorter guys to be more attractive.
Clip that, put it on TikTok, let it roll. That's gonna go viral. Every short guy is gonna be like, I have a chance with Bella. I love that. No, I think that's great, because you're what, 4'11"?
I'm 4'11". I don't need someone who's like 6'5". Like, that's crazy. Yeah.
I love that. So short and is funny. Men out there?
Yeah.
Let's ramp it up. Wow. Okay. So short, funny. What else?
Someone who has good hair. I love grabbing hair, so.
I love the specificity. Really good hair so I can latch on.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever dated someone with like long hair?
Yeah.
Ah.
My ex had,
long hair.
Yeah.
Would you put it in like a ponytail?
Yeah.
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 Would you like braid it?
Yeah, actually.
I'm like just coming up with random shit. You're like,
yeah, put it on pigtails. Yeah.
So you need like a good head of hair. I love that.
But it doesn't have to be long.
Right.
I just want to grab it.
You've got beautiful hair.
Oh,
so you're like, yeah, you guys need to compete.
Yeah.
Love it. I'm curious. Obviously, like your first album really touches, I feel like, on like the darkest moments in your life and kind of what we've been talking about. How is your new music reflective of where you're at in your life?
Honestly, like I'm the music that I put out recently, Crush, and the album that I'm putting out reflects what's happening with me right now in my life. I'm definitely in a better headspace. When I was writing like Build a Bitch and the Dolls EP, I was in a much like darker place, and now I'm finally like getting better, and yeah, I'm just very excited because like my fans actually loved Crush, and I can't wait to put out the album because it's gonna be different.
Do you have any advice for your fans maybe that are watching that are like currently in the fucking trenches and like in the darkest period of their life? Like, do you have any advice from your experience of how to get through those moments?
I think time is the one thing that helped me the most, because like, you know, I was seeing a therapist like twice a week, sometimes 3 times when I really needed someone to talk to. But I feel like if you just take the moment and give yourself some time to heal, you'll definitely feel better, and just like be hopeful, and just surround yourself with good people.
Yeah. What do you want for yourself in this next phase of life?
I just want to have fun. I don't know. I feel like I've just been so, I don't know. I want to have fun, because even my friends lately, they've been so surprised that I've been hanging out.
I love it.
Yeah, I've always been like a homebody, and now I'm just like, oh, let's go grab breakfast, or yeah, like do fun things outside. And yeah, I guess in my next phase, I just want to have fun and learn new things, because there's a lot of things that I still don't know.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right, you're just like putting yourself out there. If someone is becoming a new fan of yours today, what do you want them to take away from this and like know about you?
I love that question also. That's really hard. I just want to say that, hi, I'm Bella. I love making music. You should go check it out if you want, but I'm not gonna force you. But I don't know.
I think you've done a really good job of explaining your life story today, and I feel like even just sitting here with you, I can say that like you have a very incredible presence about you. Like just sitting in this room, you're very calm, and knowing everything you've been through now, like you would, like I said, you wouldn't know that. Like you are humble and you seem very motivated, and I think it's just like inspiring to see like where you came from and what you've made of yourself. Like shame on anyone that has ever done you wrong or abused their power over you. And I think every woman listening can take something from this of like, it's a motherfucker for us out here. Like it is, and I'm speaking from a perspective of being absolutely understanding. I'm so privileged, and like knowing there, it's just like, it's very difficult. We're still living in a society where women are not equal. We are still fighting for our life at this point. And I just thank you, because every time someone speaks like you do, it allows other women to be like, I'm going to speak up next time. Or even just know, like, I'm going to be the friend that helps my friend speak up next time. Like, I know it sounds like, oh, we're all just talking about our own shit. Like, it's not. Like, we're all connected in some capacity, and I just appreciate you coming on, because it's not fucking easy. And I know, like, even when I upload this shit, I'm like, people I think forget, like, you're a human. It's a lot, and it's hard when you press upload on something that's personal. So I appreciate you sharing this with us, because it's going to help a lot of women, and I cannot wait to see what you do with your career, because you're already so fucking successful, and I'm just so excited for you. So thank you so much for coming on Call Her Daddy.
Oh, well, thank you so much for letting me speak, and letting you invited so many people here, and I've watched almost all of them, and I'm just very thankful that there's someone like you who's able to like speak to people and share like different perspectives, and I appreciate that. And you made me so comfortable that I was just giving you all the tea. You're so easy to talk to, and thank you for that.